Every morning, when you turn on the news, when you look in the newspaper, another company has been hacked. Another company held victim to ransomware by hackers. It's just crazy out there, and it's not getting any better. Hi, my name is Chris Davenport, cybersecurity expert and owner of 3i International. Today, I'd like to tell you a few key areas that your business needs to focus on to protect itself from cybersecurity threats. The first is around employee education. This is often overlooked by our competitors because everyone really doesn't think about the employees or the people in the mix. They think about the solutions they're trying to sell. But we take a different approach. And the reason we take this approach is because over 90% of ransomware is brought in by an employee making a mistake due to lack of knowledge. Let me tell you a story. Last year, we were approached by a company that had been hacked by a phishing attack, where an attacker sent an email asking the company accountant to wire over $250,000 to an account. The employee obliged and went ahead and sent the wire because this was their policy, and it looked like it came from their CFO, which happened to be on vacation that week. The hackers knew all of this information because they were able to infiltrate their network through an employee clicking on an invalid link in an email. Don't let that happen to your company. Make sure that you get with 3i International to get your employees trained and checked up on a regular basis about the threats that we're facing out there on a daily basis. The next area I'd like to talk about is around data backup. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't backup used for disasters such as hurricanes and tornadoes and fire? They're very rarely used in those cases. Today, it's more likely that you'll use your backup to protect yourselves against paying ransom to a ransomware hacker. What happens is, when you get attacked by ransomware, the hackers hold your data hostage and ask you for money to release that data to you. And I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking, oh, my data's not worth anything to these hackers. I don't sell things to the government. I don't have secrets. But that's not the way to look at it. It's what the data is worth to you. What are you willing to pay to get your data back and get your business running again? For example, recently we had a company approach us that had been hacked by ransomware, and they had no backups. They're down for 10 days. I talked to the CEO and I said, we can just restore you from backup. And he hung his head down and said, we don't have backups here. Our current IT vendor didn't put them in place. He was left with very little option but to pay the ransom, which was over $25,000 to get his data back. The next area I'd like to talk about is around artificial intelligence. And what I mean by that, the products that protect your network now have artificial intelligence in them in the firewall and the antivirus. The old firewalls and the old antivirus that is out there just simply does not cut it any longer. It is just not smart enough to thwart these attacks. So you need something with artificial intelligence built in to make sure that it sees the attacks that are what are called zero-day attacks, which those are threats that come out today or yesterday. And they're not in any database. They're unknown at this point. And these tools really help us protect your business against these types of attacks that are not even known today because the hackers are out there writing new things on a daily basis. The next key point I wanted to share is around network monitoring. 3i International monitors its customer networks for threats 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, to make sure that their networks are safe. This is a crucial piece of a security platform to make sure that people aren't trying to get in to break through your firewall and network. For example, we have a customer that was launching a new e-commerce platform, and we were monitoring the network when we saw an exorbitant amount of traffic coming from Russia. This was alarming to us because this company only does business with people in the US. There was no valid reason to have a large amount of traffic from Russia. So our security team immediately blocked the IP address. We reached out to the customer and told them of the attack, and we got the clearance to go ahead and block the entire country of Russia because it's known that Russia is a hotbed for proxies that hackers use to hack American assets. And I'd like to close with this thought. The last piece that I'd like to talk to you about is doing network assessments. It is very important that we measure and look at your network and do penetration testing to make sure that you're not open to attack. With these reports that we provide to you, we both work together to build a strategy to close any gaps to keep you protected out there against these threats. If you're looking for a new cybersecurity vendor like 3i International, I urge you to go to try3i.com today and fill out the form to see how you can get a free security assessment of your own. Don't let your company be in the headlines next. Thank you.